of its time, Windows XP. Now, XP released with rave reviews. Everyone loved it. It has improved performances, intuitive UI, hardware capabilities, whatnot. Everyone was loving it. In fact, XP soon became the most widely used operating system of its time. It was great. However, XP also had problems. It had its fair share of vulnerabilities. The problem was, turned out that the platform had a few vulnerabilities, and a lot of computers that are powered by XP would eventually get hacked or infected. Now, this had a bad reputation. Hello? Yeah. So, this gave XP a very bad reputation for being insecure. In fact, the reputation holds true even today. Even today, when you think of Windows, you kind of think of it as an insecure platform, which is not true in current state. Windows has improved drastically and it's quite secure right now. At the same time, when all this was happening, other operating systems like Mac OS X, they came in promising and claiming to be much more secure. And it actually worked. In fact, if I had to buy a computer for my parents who are completely non-technical people, I would have preferred a Mac over PC just because of Mac's perception of being safer. Also given that my pocket allowed because, Apple. So, WordPress today is at somewhat similar ground. Just like XP or Windows, WordPress is popular. WordPress is huge. It empowers more than 25% of the internet and it's steadily moving towards 30% ground, right? We have a thriving community. We have tens of thousands of plugins available, but at the same and with increasing popularity, more and more non-technical people are coming and using WordPress. Just like my parents, they might be using WordPress to make a website for their small business or to maintain their own blogs. Similarly, more and more people are coming and writing plugins and themes for WordPress. Though a lot of these plugins and themes are stellar quality, many of them tends to have bad code. Now, the reason behind this is a lot of these plugins and themes are written by novice self-taught programmers who tends to write insecure code. And the problem with insecure code is it works. So you do not learn to write a secure code unless you have already littered the internet with bad code. So this is what is happening right now. We already have a few stats over here. So Security released this report. And as per this report, you can see out of all the CMS websites got hacked, 78% were on WordPress. But now, since we already have discussed how big is WordPress, the people were sharing data about what is the current market share of WordPress. I read somewhere it is close to about 70% of CMS market share. So someone said it's 58%. But whatever that figure is, it's undoubtedly a huge figure. So that kind of explains why it has such a huge spike against WordPress in this graph. So that is a reason why that there's so many hack sites that were built on WordPress. That's on WordPress. Even Security 2 in its report said this thing. In most of the instances, the compromises analyzed had little, if anything, to do with the code of the CMS application itself, but more with improper deployment, configuration, and overall maintenance of the webmasters and their host. And host, in fact, I was talking to a lot of host people, it has to be host. Everyone likes to blame host. Like anything is wrong, blame your host. My website is not getting traffic, blame your host. My website's sign up is broken, has to be your host. In fact, hey, my website theme is not looking good, you know what? It's your host. So we see that all the time. But anyway, there's another statistics. The statistics is from this website called wptemplate.com, which published the stats on how do WordPress sites get hacked. If you see the infographic, you can see that close to 51% of the hacks are attributed by plugins and themes combined, followed by, as we have already discussed, host. And 8% is because of insecure login credentials. Now, we personally believe hosts have much lesser role to play than what is in here, but we'll come to that later and I'll explain to you why we think so. So, okay, despite all these statistics, like 78% CMS getting hacked were built on WordPress and so many were reasons how WordPress get hacked, people still have difficulty figuring out or imagining their website being hacked. They'll be like, okay, why would anyone hack me? I mean, if you look at my site, my contents are irrelevant for the hackers. My traffic is too insignificant for anyone to even try hacking me, right? So why would anyone put the effort? So the thing is, the real world hacking, it is rarely that anyone will specifically point at your site and try to hack you. Most of the hacks out there are automated. Just like search engine bots crawls the internet indexing the website, a hacking bot, a hacker bot crawls the internet finding websites with vulnerabilities. And once a website with vulnerability is found, that vulnerability is exploited. So to sum it up, it is as simple as a site gets hacked if it can be hacked. If your site has vulnerability, and you are not doing anything about it, you're just letting it be there, it's just a matter of time when a bot will come and hack your website. It is as simple as that. Now, you can still think, okay, what now? They hacked me, but I still what did my site have? It just had cat pictures. Like, what would a hacker do with those cat pictures? It's already available everywhere and it was free. So, what would anyone gain by hacking my small site? So it turns out there are a lot of things that a hacker can gain. The first thing is they can steal your information. Any information can be sold on the internet. You have list of email IDs, passwords, phone numbers, social security numbers. If you're storing credit card credentials, then someone is going to have a party and you're going to pay for it. So everything is out there for sales. They can steal your information. They can exploit your system resources. Your site is hosted on a server. So once a hacker or a hacker bot has got access to your web resources, they can use your system resources, they can use your server to attack further site. Or they can use it to host or to upload illegal or at times even objectionable contents on your web server, which can lead you into legal troubles. Similarly, they can spread malwares. Suppose you had little traffic, let's just say only your family members visit your site, that's all your audience is. Even then, if your website is infected, your website can be used to spread malware. So now if someone on your family, let's say, is visiting your website, just because they visited your website and your website was compromised, their system will get compromised. They can have malwares, it can be different kind of malwares, let's not go into it, but they can get, just because they visited your website, their local system is at jeopardy because of you. Similarly, the hacks can be used for vandalization. As you would have heard, hacktism is quite popular these days, so they can deface your website, or they can redirect your traffic to some other website where you definitely don't want your visitors to go. So as I said in the introduction that we are a backup company. So being in the backup business, we have often helped customers clean their site to recover from hacks. While doing so, what we saw was many times the sites that were hacked were infected months or even years ago, and the site owner realized it only after, say, Google blacklisted them or their host shut them down. So the thing is that by the time they realized, it was already too late. So this was a serious concern, because if someone could have told them earlier, when they first got attacked, that hey, your site is infected, they could have taken the proper steps, and they could have minimized the whole damage. So what we also realized that most of the tools out there were insufficient or were incapable or either doing a very bad job of recognizing hack. So what we did was we learned from our experience and we built up our own hack scanner and a cleaner, and we're going to release it soon. It's for the name of Malcare, and that's where the story gets very interesting. So what happened after that is, it is generally believed that 2 to 3% of all WordPress websites out there are hacked, which by itself is a huge number, because just because of the scale of WordPress, if you convert into that 2 to 3% into figures, that's a huge number. So we had this scanner of ours, and we have backed up over 100,000 plus WordPress sites. So we ran our scanner into over all those sites, and the result was mind-blowing. It turned out people, and think of website infected by a virus as people infected by a virus. Now, if 11% of your population is infected by a virus, that's a pandemic outbreak. That's serious. You need to take action, and you need to take action as soon as possible. If you do not contain it at this stage, it will be disastrous. And this is the current state of WordPress security. 11% of websites out there, if they are hacked, you need to do everything in your position to contain it, to stop it. If you do not do it, we feel that this can be disastrous for WordPress itself. This can even lead to the decline of WordPress, which would be really sad, because WordPress core itself is not in question here. WordPress core itself is quite secure. So, speaking of containment, how can you contain it? What preventions can you take? So, to prevent your website from getting hacked, first thing you should do is harden the security of your website. How to do that? Go to codex.wordpress.org, search for hardened security, follow the steps. These are the best advices you can get over there related to your security, hardening security of a WordPress website. Do that, understand everything and follow it. Take backups. You can still get hacked. So at the time when you get hacked, don't run around like a headless chicken. Hey, I got hacked and this happened and that happened. Instead of blaming the whole system, keep backup. Make sure the backups are off-sites. So because what happens is, when your server is compromised, if you have a backup sitting in the server, the backup itself can be contaminated. So what happens even if you recover from that backup, maybe there are backdoors over there. You'll keep getting hacked again and again. So make sure you take backup frequently, and those backups are completely off-site. Keep your softwares up to date. This has been told numerous number of times by numerous people, and this is no-brainer to keep your software keep outdated software. In terms of WordPress, keep your WordPress core, plugins, themes, everything up to date. Make sure everything is up to date. If you are maintaining your own server stack, make sure your OS, your web server, your whatever dependencies OS has, everything is updated. If you are to manage hosting, instead of blaming them later on that I got hacked because of you, keep checking with them. Hey, what is the status of the software stack that you are maintaining? Is everything up to date? In fact, make it a very important criteria for choosing a web host. Before choosing a web host, ask them what is the state, how often do you update it, what mechanisms do you have to update your software stack. Secure your login. As we saw that 8%, like as per the WP template infographic, 8% of the security hacks were because of insecure login. Make sure you use strong passwords. Make sure you limit the number of login attempts made, so that no one can easily do brute force and break into your system. So do follow all those things. Similarly, there are many advisors out there, or people provide tools to do many things, which we think is a utter waste of time, and you should avoid doing it. And it is important to discuss that. These things are, as you can see here, these things are hiding WP version, login error, and moving your WP admin to another place. The thing with all these things are, if you see, all of them are related to security obscurity. And as we already discussed, the hacks are basic. Most of the hacks are done by automated bots. And these bots are capable of finding these information. If a bot, even if you remove your readme.html, the bot will still have 100 ways to find out what is your WP version. So these things do not provide much of much of an advantage. The disadvantage is, suppose you change the location of your WP admin. Now maintaining your website becomes a difficulty. And you do not, and the more difficulty you add, the more lagging, you'll be more laggy behind, you'll lag more behind maintaining your software. You'll lag behind updating your software. So do not do these things. In fact, I would say that we ourselves will never do any such things for our own website in the name of security. So that's the thing. Use security plugin. There are a lot of security plugins out there, and there are a lot of good security plugins out there. Again, with so many options, one might get confused. Okay, what security plugin is for what? So we have tried. What I'm trying to do is I have categorized security plugins in 3 different broad categories, and instead of telling you to use XYZ plugin, better understand what are the 3 types of plugin, and then do your research and find a plugin suitable for you. So the types of plugins are security hardening, what we have already discussed. The codex.wordpress.org already gives you a very good guideline for hardening security. But there are a lot of plugins which provides a very good interface to do it from within your WP admin. Use those plugins, they are handy, even if you have little knowledge about WordPress, and even if you do not want to go into your config file and make changes, these plugins are quite handy. They'll do all those things for you, just by the click of a button. So use security hardening plugin. Similarly, use firewalls. Like, firewalls are awesome. Firewall sits in front of your application and intercept all the requests that your application is getting. Now, based on its intelligence, it will either accept or block an application or block a request. So firewalls provide really good security. And the third types of security plugins are antiviruses and hack cleaners. So the first 2 types are something to prevent from you getting hacked. But you can still get hacked. There's nothing called perfect software. Everyone can get hacked. Even Google, Amazon, Apple, they can get hacked. So can you. So what happens after you got hacked? So antiviruses and hack cleaners make sure that once you get hacked, they will immediately inform you that you are hacked, so that you can take action, required action, as soon as possible, and the whole effect of the hack is minimized. Now to conclude, this text missing. Okay, let me conclude. So the thing is, to conclude, people often have this doubt: is WordPress insecure? No, WordPress is not insecure, and that's the word that is missing here. That was a key word; it should have not been missing. But the thing is, WordPress is not insecure. WordPress is quite secure. WordPress core itself is very secure. But just like Windows, WordPress has started developing a reputation for being insecure, which is dangerous, which I'm pretty sure no one over here wants to listen about it. Everyone loves WordPress, and we do not want it to have a reputation of being insecure when we know that WordPress core itself is not insecure. So we should, and also if that reputation grows, that can have disastrous effects, especially in long run. People will think of it as insecure, they might look for another options. We do not want that. So what we can do is, we as a community has this collective responsibility to make sure that this wrong image is not attached to WordPress. To do that, everyone can contribute at their own level. If you are a WordPress developer, make sure the code that you commit, the code that you upload on the repository has been reviewed through and through again before being published there, right? Even if you're not a web developer, even if you're just a WordPress user, you're just maintaining your website, know about your plugins and themes. Keep talking about them. Discuss with people about what plugins and themes you're using. If you learn about a vulnerability, talk to them about, hey, you know what, this plugin had vulnerability. Make sure you're not using it. Educate people. If you discovered a vulnerability, report it. Tell to the WordPress go to the developer, tell them that WordPress has very good community, so every plugin, every theme has their own support forum. Report vulnerability there. Try to contact to the developers first and tell them that, hey, this is the vulnerability, take the action as soon as possible. Educate people. The best way to serve WordPress is to educate yourself and to educate everyone around you so that the reputation of WordPress is not jeopardized just because of our bad actions. Thank you. Questions, anyone?
WordPress is really secure, and why DDoS attack cannot manage DDoS attack?
Okay, see, DDoS attack can, first of all, if someone does not know, I just trying to explain what is a DDoS attack. DDoS stands for denial of distributed denial of service attack. So what happens is, you have a website, you have a suppose, let's just say you have a simple computer and I can play a game in the computer. Now, if someone managed to run 100 instances of the same game on my computer, then my computer is going to crash. The same thing happens when DDoS. So, multiple requests will come to a server, and that will eat up, so that will require so much resources from the server that the server will crash down. So, WordPress itself is like any application can be crashed using that thing. So what you can, again, what I have already discussed, if you take preventions in, like if you have firewall installed in your system, then the firewall can take care of DDoS. Depending on you're using I'm just assuming you're using a good firewall, it can take care of that DDoS attack. So preventive measures are there. There are many things that WordPress can do on itself, there are many things that you have to make sure that WordPress does, right? So just by assuming that, hey, I'm using WordPress and someone told me that WordPress is secure, so it should take care of all those things, that's not true. You have to put some effort from your end. I think installing a firewall is very efficient in terms of DDoS attack. There are other things also, but always follow the best practice and you will be quite safe.
Is there any plugin for preventing that?
Suppose you're getting...
If somebody is going to ping my website, WordPress website, by doing this, so it can prevent that.
Yeah, it will block. Suppose someone is trying to brute force into your IP, into your login, right? So after like 6 to suppose let's say after 10 subsequent login attempts, they will identify that okay, this particular IP is trying to access using brute force. They can block the IP for say a day. So this improves your check, and you can handle that. Like they are pretty much customizable. You can block if you have identified that IP. You can block it for life also, so that you have all the tools with you. But the thing is, you need to know how to use the tool and use the tool.
Okay, thanks.
Can that firewall break?
It can. Yeah, it can. As I said, no software is anything can break. Google can break. Apple can break. So if you are asking me if a software can have loopholes, if a software can get hacked, yes, it can get hacked. What you can do is do your best to make it as difficult as for a hacker to be possible to do that. That's it. Yeah.
Works like a flood attack, okay? And it's not about WordPress, it's about the system they attack on. So what they do is they will start pinging your IP again and again. So they don't really care it's WordPress or Joomla or Drupal. They will just attack your system. And in bigger DDoS attacks, in case of GBs per second, they even take down the whole system and there is a fire in data centers. So it's more of a host side, not a WordPress side. Okay, so my question was, I'm clear. Okay. So my question was, I'm facing this from last year. So you guys know WordPress, right?
Yeah.
And there are options to upload files.
Okay.
We share files.
Very particularly, I have not developed anything on WordPress.
No, I'm not. It's just a generic question about any WordPress site. So we have we need such options to our website where we want user to upload something.
Yeah. Okay.
So we know PHP is malicious many of the time and we don't accept PHP files. But in few cases we have to. And if we don't even accept it, so let's take it. I know my WordPress file stores in WP content this. I know the path.
Yeah.
And when it will get uploaded, where it will get uploaded. So what I will do, I just convert my PHP file into image, make it JPEG and then upload it. The file get uploaded as system organized like take it as an image file, and I just change that extension and run it as a PHP. So is there any tool which just check live status of which file is getting uploaded or something?
Because the script can be run and it can
Okay. There can be tool, but I have a much simpler solution for you. Block PHP execution in upload folders. That comes under hardening security measures as mentioned in, and there are many plugins that can help you do that. You can do it from WP config file also.
Yeah, but the problem with the WordPress is there are files which need to be getting.
You want to execute
yeah.
a few files.
So, but because I'm mentioning this WordPress thing, upload their products and do all those things. So uploading is becoming essential part of the thing.
Okay, in such case, since you cannot control it, so what I would suggest is it comes to the third category of plugin, antivirus scanners and app cleaners. So what they do is, because we are also, as I said, we also developed a similar plugin right now. So what they do is they go through the files and they try to understand, like on a sandbox environment, they try to understand what is this file trying to do. And also there are signature man. There are 100 ways to find out if a file is doing something malicious, right? And depending on how good a service or plugin you're using, it can identify the hash. So even if you cannot stop a user from uploading it, you can identify it at the soonest and take action accordingly. Okay.
click karo.
Thanks a lot guys.